Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. I have to tell you what I just did. So I jumped in the car, getting ready to pull out. I look in my rearview mirror and I'm like, oh no, is it snowing? Check that out. No, Holmes, it's not snowing. You just need to wash your car. Welcome to the Thunderdome, y'all. As usual, friends, we are headed oot and a boot, but we got a bit of a time constraint today. Not only do we have classes to teach this afternoon, but we're in the middle of the high school hockey tournament. Hermantown is playing. We're at intermission between the first and second periods, and we're tied 1-1. So we got to run to the library because I got to drop off a book and pick up 3 other books. So I figured we could do that in a hurry in between periods, and then run home, make a lunch, and watch the game while I eat lunch before I go back to class. But y'all, I thought we'd talk a little bit about books, and here's why. So on this channel, we talk about food, fitness, and books. And I feel like some people are like, what? Like, food and fitness is good and books are good, but what's with the putting together of the food and the fitness and the books? And nobody's been really aggressive about it, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like there are some questions floating around about how we're tying all of these things together. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about that as we are on our way to get some books. So y'all may have realized that I have sort of a holistic approach or sort of holistic view of health or healthiness or being healthy or whatever. Like, I don't feel like I'm over the top. I don't, Lord knows I don't eat clean. I try to eat well, but I don't eat clean. And I work out, but I don't do as much as I could to be as healthy as I could be. So I just kind of try to think about what I can do in my life to be healthy in sort of all the things that I do. Not like uber healthy, because if I do that, then I know that I'm just not going to be successful because it's going to get to be too much and I'm just going to stop. So like with eating, I try to eat healthy, but sometimes if I want some chocolate chip cookie dough, I eat chocolate chip cookie dough. Or one day if I don't, okay, I'm not going to say if I don't want to work out because I work out every day. But if I want to do an easy workout one day, I do an easy workout one day. I'm not a teetotaler. I don't abstain from alcohol, but I don't drink a lot. I drink a little bit occasionally, because I just don't feel good when I drink. But, that's just part of my approach to being sort of overall being well. Well, mental wellness, I feel like, is also part of that. Slowing down right now is going to be part of that too, so I don't get a ticket and the intern doesn't get mad at me. But I do think that maintaining your mental wellness is also part of that, because what's the point of being like physically fit and physically well if you struggle mentally? So Cameron made a joke about last week or week before when I said that I made my self-care tracker, and then I was stressing out trying to get on my self-care tracker. That was kind of a joke. Okay, it wasn't a joke, but he said that he felt like self-care for me might be setting down the tracker. He wasn't wrong. But I do try to do things like, take a bath or do yoga, and not like hardcore, like strength yoga, but, just kind of like chill. I mean, I can't do like meditative yoga because that drives me crazy, or like restorative yoga. I can't do that because I can't do that. Because while I'm doing that, I'm thinking about the things that I could be doing to make myself stronger. So it's self-defeating. But I do like stretchy kind of yoga, and I do stretch workouts a lot. One thing that I do a whole lot that's, I guess, beneficial to my mental health, is that even how to say it, is read. Y'all, I am an avid reader. And like I said, we talk about reading on here. I post reading videos on Thursdays because I do think that being in the habit of reading is really good for your mental health. And y'all, I'm not the only one that thinks that. Research shows that. So and I'm not going to get all deep in the woods on this because y'all, there are some woods on this, and I'm not going to drag us there. But I do want to talk about just a few research findings on reading and the benefits of reading. And y'all, some of these, most of the, I don't know, maybe all of these, I feel like are kind of obvious, but maybe they're not. So let's just talk briefly about them. If you want to know any more about any of them, drop me a comment. I will send you my resources and you can read more about them and get some more details on your own. So the first benefit of reading is that it strengthens the brain. Reading involves a complex network of circuits and signals in the brain, and those get stronger as you read, and they mature as you become a more mature reader. So the more you read and the more complex material that you read, the stronger those circuits and connections in your brain become. People who read literary fiction show a greater ability to empathize and understand the feelings and beliefs of others. Y'all, this is called theory of mind, and it's really important when socializing and developing sort of social relationships. And that's exactly what happens when you read literary fiction. You sort of step into the mind or take the place of those characters, and you learn to understand how and why they think and believe the way they do. Whether you agree with them or not, you at least see how and why they act the way that they do. What was that, 2? All right, number 3, whoa. Car just pulled right on out into traffic. Number 3, this is an obvious, y'all. Reading, and especially people who read starting at an early age, build a better vocabulary, because reading new words in context helps you to learn those words and understand how they work. This is a biggie, y'all. Reading helps prevent age-related cognitive decline. Studies show that seniors who read and do number or math-related puzzles every day show less cognitive decline than their age peers who don't engage in these activities. Reading regularly can help reduce stress. There was a either 2009 or 2011 study that compared the effects of yoga, humor, and reading on the stress level of a group of students in some high stress health related fields. And the study showed that reading was as effective as yoga in reducing the stress in these students. And y'all, we've talked about try not to fling things all over the car when I turn. We've talked about the positive effects that yoga has on reducing stress. Well, this study showed that reading had similar effects. Reading can help you get a good night's sleep. Doctors recommend working reading into your nighttime routine, and some suggest reading like paper and ink books versus reading on some kind of tablet. And I would take umbrage at that because y'all know my love of the Kindle. And Kindles, especially the Paperwhite, has reduced blue light, so it doesn't mess with your melatonin production and doesn't mess with your sleep. But you know what? If your doctor tells you to read a paper, like page-turny book, a physical book versus a book on a tablet, read you a book. There are studies, and y'all, I didn't get into these. I will, and we'll talk about it some other time. But there are studies about the different effects that reading an actual physical book has versus reading on a tablet. And there are studies that indicate that the two modalities do have different effects. So maybe that's, whoa, this is handicap parking. Maybe that's what these doctors are getting after. So either way, read before you go to bed. It will help you relax and get a good night's sleep. All right, y'all saw that. I'm parked at the library, so I have just a couple of more thoughts, and then I'm going to run in, get my books, and head back to the house. Reading can help reduce depression symptoms because, y'all, when you read fiction, you get into the mind of the character, and it kind of helps you like step out of your own world and escape what you're dealing with for a minute. And reading nonfiction, like self-help books, can help you learn to deal with the stresses in your life. Finally, reading might actually help you live longer. A long-term study of retired folks showed, I think it was over like 12 years, showed that folks that read tended to live up to 2 years longer than folks that didn't read. The same study showed that folks who read 3.5 hours a week or longer were 23% more likely to live longer than those who didn't read at all. So y'all, there is some research-based evidence that reading truly is good for you. All right, let me run inside, grab my books, head back to the house, finish watching my hockey game, and get back to work. I'll check in with y'all later. I'm gonna do a workout of some sort today, probably some kind of stretchy thing. And then I might make something new for breakfast. So I'm gonna check in with y'all and let you know what's going on later. All right, bye now. All right, y'all, my workout is done, and like I think I mentioned, I want to come up with something new for breakfast. I told y'all a couple weeks ago that I eat the exact same thing for breakfast every day, and I kind of want to try something new. Now, we're not going to get all crazy and actually add more points to breakfast, so I think what I'm going to do is bake some apples. So I'm going to slice up some apples, throw in some cinnamon and nutmeg, and then just bake that off in a pie pan, see what we get. And then I'm going to mix those apples in with some non-fat plain Greek yogurt and see how it is. Because normally I eat some kind of fruit in my Greek yogurt, so I thought maybe I would try some cinnamon and nutmeg apples and just, I don't know, see how it tastes. So I'm going to get that going and I'll let y'all know how it turns out. Y'all, I wish we had smell-o-vision because these smell so good. So here's what they look like straight out of the oven. I think I'm going to cut them up a little bit and I'm going to mix them in with some Greek yogurt and give them a taste. So hang on a second. I only did a little bit, y'all, because the apples are still a little bit warm, so I didn't know how they would act with the Greek yogurt. So let's give this a taste and just see what we got. It's really good. The apples aren't very sweet. I mean, they're just apple sweet, obviously, because I didn't put anything in them to sweeten them. You could probably put in a little bit of honey or something to sweeten it up if you want it a little bit sweeter, or if you haven't quite gotten used to the taste of Greek yogurt yet, when you mix this together, maybe put a couple drops of honey in. If you want your Greek yogurt a little bit sweeter and you're okay with the additional points. But y'all, this is actually pretty good. With just apples, cinnamon, nutmeg, bake the apples. I baked mine for about 40 minutes. I could have gone a little bit longer and gotten them a little bit mushier. The intern tasted it, wanted a taste, and I told him he wasn't gonna like it because I didn't add sugar. So he took a taste and said, yep, tastes like apples to me, but it tastes like apples and cinnamon and nutmeg. But anyway, y'all, so there goes my phone and Lord Vader. So there's another option for us for a 0-point dish for breakfast. Y'all, thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you haven't already done so, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I upload food and fitness videos on Monday with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.